Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about perfumes. So recently I did my entire perfume collection and I did a mini declutter, and I will link that above in case you have missed it. But I went through and I showed you all of the perfumes that I have in my collection. And since that video, I have added a few more. So I just wanted to update you guys and share with you what I have updated, what worked out for me, and a couple that didn't. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do beauty, special effects, and perfume videos on this channel. If you are into that kind of thing, then please subscribe. Also, head over to my Instagram, which is Jaxbeautifulyou. I would absolutely love it if you would follow me over there as well. And if you are interested in seeing the new perfumes I've added to my collection and my thoughts about them, then just keep on watching. I have been on a perfume journey. So if you've been watching my videos, you know that I started my perfume journey in the beginning of this year. And so I've been having so much fun smelling different perfumes, trying different perfumes. I have been just obsessed, and for me it has been this wonderful new world that has opened up. It's like aromatherapy to me. I am never without perfume anymore. I always wear perfume. I wear perfume to bed, I wear perfume to work, I wear perfume out on date nights, I wear perfume all the time. I'm just really obsessed with perfume right now, and I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. So I have here 7 perfumes that I want to talk to you today about that have entered into my collection in one way or another. Some of them were blind buys, some of them were not, some of them were successes, some of them didn't work out for me. So we're going to go through all of those today. All right guys, the first one I want to talk about was not a blind buy. This one is from Givenchy, and this is the L'Interdit. This is the Eau de Parfum, and this is one of those fragrances that was not on my radar at all. Not that I had heard anything bad about it, I just hadn't really heard anything about it. I think this released in 2018. You know, I saw it in a couple people's collections here and there, but nobody really talks about this perfume a whole lot. It wasn't at all on my radar, but I actually was at the mall and I came across this one and I thought, you know, I don't know what that smells like. I think I'm gonna give it a shot, and I absolutely loved it. It was love at first sniff. I really like this one. This is very tuberose heavy. I really smell the tuberose in here, and that's what got me because I'm a pretty big fan of tuberose. So the main accords are white floral, tuberose, sweet, woody, fruity, patchouli, citrus, vanilla, animalic, and amber. So I am a huge fan of amber. I love patchouli in my fragrances. I really love tuberose. There's just so much goodness in here. So in 1957, Givenchy made this perfume for Audrey Hepburn, I believe. And then they reformulated it, I believe, in 2018 to this. And so it is just very classy. It's very elegant. I could see that this would be a perfume for Audrey Hepburn. You know what I mean? Like, it just symbolizes class, elegance, sophistication. All of those things is kind of what I think of when I smell this. I'm a really big fan of white florals, but this isn't just a straight up floral fragrance. This is a sweet floral fragrance, basically. So the top notes are pear and bergamot, so you do get a little bit of that citrusy vibe in the opening. And then the middle notes, you have those white florals. You have the tuberose, you have the orange blossom, and then you also have jasmine sambac. And I really do love that kind of dimension in the middle of this fragrance. You can really smell, like I said, the tuberose really is what comes out strong for me. This is like a bubblegum kind of sweeter type of tuberose, and I really like that. I also really love orange blossom as well. And in the base, you have this beautiful mixture of patchouli, vanilla, and ambroxan and vetiver, and I think that that combination in the base, it makes it deep. It gives it some depth. It gives it some character. So you've got citrus, floral, and then that deep patchouli and that sweet vanilla and that kind of earthiness from the vetiver, and it's just really wonderful. I really love this perfume, and I'm not sure why more people don't talk about it. So again, this wasn't a blind buy. It was love at first sniff, but I just think it's beautiful. One of the perfumes that this actually reminds me of, and I went to Fragrantica to double check to see if other people thought that this smelled similar, but one of the first perfumes I thought of was Giorgio Armani My Way. And when I went to Fragrantica, I saw that other people thought that as well. And it's because of the tuberose, you know, but this is like the darker, sexier, older sister of My Way. I think My Way is a beautiful everyday kind of signature scent, and you could do this everyday signature no problem as well, but this one just has a little bit more depth to it. So I would wear Giorgio Armani like during the day and then throw this one on at night, and I think that would be a perfect combination. All right, up next, let's talk about a perfume I got from my subscription service. So I do the Purple Luxe from fragrance.com. It looks like this. It comes in this little bottle. You get like this decant. It's like this travel size, and then you get a little decant of your perfume. I really, really like that because I feel like it gives me a chance to really try before I buy. This is by the House of Guerlain. This is the La Petite Robe Noir. And unfortunately, this is not one that worked out for me. The main accords are sweet, cherry, fruity, almond, nutty, soft, spicy, vanilla, rose. And I really thought this was going to work out for me, you guys. I really, really did. It sounded just gorgeous. You know what I mean? It's got that sweet, it's got that cherry. So I have a bad memory association with cherry. So when I was a kid, my dad used to make me drink this god-awful cherry cough syrup. And I don't even remember the brand, but it was awful. It was this thick, red, cherry flavored cough syrup that every time I like had the smallest little cough, my dad would have me drink it, and I just absolutely hated it. So anything at all that reminds me of that cough syrup at all, I mean, just even the slight memory of it is a complete and total turnoff for me. So I like cherry scented stuff. Like I like cherry flavored chapstick and things like that. I've liked different cherry kind of lotions. I don't like to actually eat cherries. I don't like cherry pie or any like I can't eat a real cherry. And if the smell is associated too closely with that syrup, I just can't do it. And unfortunately for me, this did remind me a little bit of that cough syrup. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Now, that's not normal, you guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with this perfume. As a matter of fact, I've heard a lot of people say that this is one of the best cherry perfumes they've ever had, that they've ever smelled. I know a lot of people love this perfume. So I think it's just that weird scent memory that I have that has just really obscured cherry for me. So top notes are sour cherry, and I think that's what it is. I think I don't like sour cherry. I like sweet cherry. I don't like sour cherry. Almond, red berries, and bergamot, and then the middle notes are licorice. Something with that licorice and sour cherry combination, that's what reminds me of that nasty cough syrup. And then we have rose tea. In the base, you have vanilla, tonka bean, patchouli, and iris. Just take what I'm saying about this perfume with a grain of salt, you guys, because I just have that weird memory associated with cherries, and so I'm really picky about my cherries. So this one did not work out. As a matter of fact, I sprayed it on my skin and I had to go wash it off, because I really don't like it. It's not for me. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this, because I have this like travel size. I'm gonna find someone else to declutter it to, because I definitely cannot wear it. So that's a no for me. The other perfume that I got from my subscription service is by Mancera. This is Roses Vanille, and this is what it looks like. And actually, you guys, I love this one. I love this one a lot. The only reason why I'm not going to be getting a full bottle of this is because it reminds me a little too much of Montale's Intense Cafe. They're not exactly the same, but they're so similar. As a matter of fact, when I first smelled this one, yeah, I actually thought I was smelling Intense Cafe. I thought they had made a mistake and sent me the wrong fragrance. And then I looked and I saw that it's actually Mancera's Roses Vanille. So I looked online and I saw that there were a lot of people comparing this to Intense Cafe, and I wasn't the only one. So that made me feel a little bit better. But the main accords on this are vanilla, sweet, rose, powdery, musky, floral, and woody. And the top notes are lemon, water notes, and then the middle is rose and sugar. And then the base is vanilla, sugar, white musk, and cedar. This is absolutely gorgeous. I really, really do love this. The only difference I can tell between this one and the Intense Cafe to my nose is the lemon versus the coffee. So Rose's Vanille has lemon in the opening, and I can kind of make that out just a little bit. And then when I smell Intense Cafe, they have coffee in the opening, and I can make that one out a little bit. So this one is just a touch bit sweeter with a little bit of a citrusy twist, whereas Intense Cafe is a little deeper with a little bit more of that like coffee twist. But honestly, you guys, once you put it on the skin and the opening is gone, at the dry down and just how it smells throughout the day, they smell identical to each other. On me anyway, at least that's what my nose smells. I mean, I really can't tell too much of a difference between the two. I think if it boils down to it, I think I prefer Intense Cafe just a little tiny bit more. I like the opening of that perfume just a little bit more than I do this one. So there's no need for me to get a bottle of this. As much as I love it, I'm not going to get a bottle of it. So I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to finish my Intense Cafe little decant. And then when I'm done with the two of these, I will be buying a full bottle of Intense Cafe, because that is literally one of my favorite perfumes that I've tried so far. So definitely will be getting a full bottle of that. This one is very, very good, but I don't think I need both. I think it's a little bit redundant. Great performing perfume. I mean, this is beast mode. You'll definitely smell this on you all day. I think Montale and Mancera, I think they're sister companies, and they're both known for, you know, their longevity, their projection. They're pretty powerful scents, I believe. So this is no exception. Fantastic. I really love it, but I'm gonna stick with Intense Cafe. All right, this next one I got because everybody and their brother talks about this perfume and I was super curious because it just sounds like something I would love, and that is Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Labelle. I love this bottle, you guys. Can you guys see the dent I've already made in this? I haven't had this for very long, maybe a month. And I have quite a few perfumes at this point, so the fact that I made this dent in here is kind of impressive. But this was a blind buy. This was a blind buy, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. I am dying to try the Intense version, but I cannot get my hands on that anywhere. I live in the United States, and for some reason, I just can't get my hands on it. So I can't wait for that to come to the United States so I can try it, because I've heard everybody say if you love this one, you're going to love the Intense version. The Intense version is a little deeper from what I understand, a little darker, a little bit more vanilla. So yeah, I'm very excited to try that one, but this one I love. So this was a successful blind buy. This is Main Accord's Vanilla, Fruity, Sweet, Aquatic, Aromatic, Woody, Powdery, Earthy, Fresh, and Green. The top notes are pear and bergamot. Definitely get that blast of pear. I mean, I smell pear in this all day long. And then in the middle notes, you have floral notes and leather, which I found interesting. I really don't get leather from this. Not what I would imagine leather to smell like, I guess. I just don't smell it. It must be a very smooth leather note in here. I really don't get a lot of floral in here either. I do get the vanilla, the pear, a little bit of the vetiver. The pear is very prominent to my nose. I do get a lot of the vanilla and the vetiver, the amber, and some muskiness. So that's what's in the base. Yeah, I think this is beautiful. It smells like a sweet, kind of like pear that, I wouldn't call it like a crisp pear. It doesn't smell like super citrusy. It's more on the sweet side of a pear, like it's cooking, like it's in a pie or something. I think it's gorgeous. The only thing that I will say is that I'm kind of surprised that this isn't a stronger perfume. Okay, so when I say that, let me just clarify. It's very strong when you spray it, right? Okay, it's a very strong scent, but throughout the day, I noticed it stays pretty close to my skin. The projection isn't really too strong, really. Now, the longevity of this perfume is great, but projection and longevity are two different things. So this lasts all day on my skin, but it stays close to my skin. And that's the only complaint I have over this perfume, is that I wish that the projection was a little bit longer. I wish it was a little bit louder. I really like perfumes that I can smell throughout the day and that other people can smell throughout the day. That's kind of the point of perfumes for me, you know what I mean? I really enjoy when a perfume gives me that really nice scent bubble, you know, when you're walking through your day and you can just kind of get whiffs of your perfume. That's the most enjoyable like part of perfumes for me. And this one, I really had to like I really feel like I have to like, you know, make mental note to smell myself. You know, after a couple of hours, I have to, you know, put my wrist up to my nose, or I have to like smell my shirt. It's not just giving me wafts. You know what I mean? Throughout the day. And so for me, for some reason, the projection isn't amazing. The scent is amazing, the longevity is amazing, but the projection I wish was just a little bit stronger. So I'm hoping the intense version maybe gives me what I'm looking for, you know, with the projection. But anyway, I do really like this one. I think it's very, very beautiful. I've obviously used it a lot, and yeah, this was a success. Just wish the projection was a little stronger. Okay, up next we have Chanel Coco Mademoiselle, and this is the intense version. So when I started my perfume journey, I knew I wanted to have a bottle of the regular Coco Mademoiselle, the original, that released I think like 20 years ago in my collection, because it's kind of a classic and I know I love that perfume. I love the original Coco Mademoiselle. So I really did want to have a bottle of that in my collection. I just wasn't in a huge hurry because it's been around for 20 years and I didn't think it was going anywhere. But anyway, I decided one day I needed to go and finally get Coco Mademoiselle into my collection. So I went to Ulta actually, and I went to sniff around and realized that I had never tried the intense version. And it came out in like 2018, and I thought, you know, I really need to smell that. I don't know if I like the intense version or not. And you guys, I don't want to sound dramatic. I don't want to be too dramatic here, it's just perfume. But it really did just kind of make my heart soar when I smelled it. Honestly, it just kind of blew me away, to be honest. The intense version is, oh my gosh, you guys, it just is wonderful. It is so gorgeous. I could not resist. I still plan on getting the original Coco Mademoiselle, but I picked up the intense version instead because I love this perfume. This has main accords of citrus, vanilla, patchouli, sweet, woody, amber, warm, spicy, balsamic, rose, and fruity. Now I think what they did is they took out a little less of the citrus from the original, and they added in a lot more vanilla and a lot more patchouli with the intense version. So I still think there's, yeah, they have orange, bergamot, and lemon in the opening of this, whereas in the original I think they had like more orange. It was like mandarin orange. Middle notes, they have rose and jasmine, but they added in some fruity notes into the middle that I don't think is in the original. And then in the base they added some tonka bean, and there's Madagascar vanilla and some patchouli, which there's patchouli and vanilla I believe in the original, but they added in more, I believe, of the vanilla, and they definitely added more of the patchouli. I am a huge fan of a sweet perfume with a dark, deep, sexy base. That combination is my absolute favorite. If you give me this sweet vanilla, rosy, kind of citrusy, fruity type of perfume, and you throw in something deep and sexy like patchouli, or maybe licorice, a lot of vanilla, oh my gosh, that's my favorite thing in the world. That's my favorite thing in the world. And this is exactly what they did. That's what they did with the intense version. They made my ultimate perfume. Like my ultimate love of a perfume. Everything I love about a perfume blended beautifully together in perfect harmony. That's what this perfume is for me, you guys. I love it so much. Oh God, I love this perfume so much. This is perfection. It's perfection to me. It's pretty recent to my collection, but I have fallen madly in love with it. It performs beautiful. I mean, you get a beautiful scent bubble around you all day long. Definitely a gorgeous sillage. The longevity is there. The performance is there. This is gorgeous. And what I really love about it is how versatile it is. You know, it's just one of those perfumes that you could literally wear for any occasion at any time and it would be appropriate. I feel like you could wear it in the daytime as your signature scent easily. I feel like you could wear it out at night on a date. You could wear it in the summer. You can wear it in the winter, the fall. It's daytime, nighttime. I've worn this to bed. I've worn this to work. Yeah, it just fits for like every occasion. If I were going to have a signature scent, this is the one that I would choose because I absolutely love this perfume. It has rocked my world and I love it. The performance is a 10 out of 10. The scent is a 10 out of 10. So I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but this was a successful purchase. Okay, this next perfume, you guys, really surprised me. This was a blind buy. I was at Nordstrom Rack and I saw this for just such an affordable price. I think it was like $15. It was just ridiculous. And I thought, I'm gonna try it out. You know, I'm just gonna check it out. And this is the perfume by Kim Kardashian, and it's just, I believe, called Kim Kardashian. I really like this bottle. It's kind of like a purpley dark, I don't know. I like it. I think it's nice, but I'm surprised that I like this perfume, you guys, because this is extremely floral. That's all this is floral. So basically the main accords are white floral, tuberose, and animalic. I really do like white florals, but I don't typically want just straight up florals. You know what I mean? Where you literally smell like you're a garden. Sometimes most of the time I prefer to have some sweetness, some vanilla, something in there with the florals. Straight up florals usually are not my jam. However, what I found is I moved to South Carolina and it is a very humid and hot climate here. And so I actually bought this and I wore it on a super, super hot day. And I was surprised at how great this works for summertime. It just smells like fresh flowers and it wasn't too heavy. Although this is pretty heavy perfume, it is a very it's a pretty heavy perfume without it being like deep, if that makes sense. There's no like patchouli, there's no licorice, there's no like none of that in the base basically. But it's very heavy on the white floral, so it kind of smells heavy. I hope that makes sense. But what I found is I just loved wearing it on super, super hot days because even though it was a little heavy, it just, the whiffs that I was getting was just these summertime florals. And it just fit, you know what I mean? It just seemed to go together. It seemed to just kind of, you know, yeah, it's summertime, I'm smelling summer flowers. And so in my mind, it was just a really good mixture. It was almost kind of refreshing. So I just really, really liked it in the summertime. Now, I don't think that I'll be pulling for this now that it's starting to kind of cool off a little bit and we're getting into fall and winter. This isn't going to be a perfume that I reach for a ton, but I think when spring comes back around and those flowers start to bloom again, and then in the summer when it's too hot to wear anything sweet, I think this is going to be perfect. So while this isn't exactly my favorite perfume in the world, like it's not the perfume I typically go for, I think that in hot, hot days, this is going to be the perfume that I find to be kind of refreshing and just enjoyable to wear during those times. So the top notes are honeysuckle and orange flower, African orange flower, which is a white floral, and so is honeysuckle. And then it also has mandarin orange. The middle notes are tuberose, gardenia. I really smell the gardenia in this, which I really like. I can smell the tuberose a little bit, but the gardenia, jasmine, those really, really stand out to me. And then in the base, there's tonka bean, musk, sandalwood, and some woody notes. So I just think this is really good. Now, I thought when I first smelled it, I was like, man, this reminds me of something. Like, what does this smell like? And then it hit me. Gucci Bloom, the original Gucci Bloom. These are like so close to each other. I would be confident in saying that this is a dupe. I actually went to smell Gucci Bloom just to make sure before I like said that for everybody to hear. I wanted to make sure that that's actually accurate. So I sprayed this on and then I went to the store. I tried Gucci Bloom next to it and I don't own Gucci Bloom, but I did test them out next to each other and they are almost identical. So if you like Gucci Bloom, at least to my nose they were anyway. If you like Gucci Bloom, but you don't want to pay the price for Gucci Bloom and you want something a lot cheaper, I think you can get this for like $18, $19 online. Go with this one. The performance is great, lasts all day, has a nice sillage. It's not too overpowering, but it's definitely there. You're going to smell it all day. It really does perform like a high-end fragrance. I really feel like this gives Gucci Bloom a run for its money. So I highly recommend this one if you like Gucci Bloom. All right, guys, let's talk about niche perfumes. So specifically, very expensive niche perfumes. I actually have been pretty interested in niche perfumes. Like I said, my journey's pretty new. So, you know, I first started out at the beginning of the year. I was only really interested in designer and like celebrity perfumes, and I'm starting to get interested in the niche perfumes, but they're pretty expensive. I think designer prices are expensive, you guys. I mean, $125 for a perfume. I mean, that's expensive, especially if you want more than just, you know, 2 or 3. If you're somebody who's collecting perfumes, you can really spend a lot of money. I decided that I wanted to get samples of my niche perfume. So I've actually ordered a bunch of samples. I've been testing out a lot of like popular niche perfumes that are talked about on YouTube a lot. Maybe I'll do a video about that because so far I haven't been overly impressed. One of the perfumes that everybody talks about that I really just was super curious about was Parfums de Marly Delina. And I got a sample of it, tried it out, and unfortunately that was one that didn't work out for me just because of that rhubarb note. It's very, very sour on my skin. It's just too tart, a little bit too sharp for me. And so I thought, okay, that's fine. You know, I can still recognize it as a really good perfume. I can see why so many people love that perfume. You obviously have to like rose in order to love that perfume, which I do. I really love rose. But that rhubarb note in the top just was not for me. And then I heard everybody say that if you didn't like Delina, that you need to try the Delina exclusive, because that is different. There's no sharp notes in it. It has vanilla in the base. It's a little bit sweeter. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's definitely sounds, you know, a lot more up my alley. I think I'd probably like that. So I looked everywhere, like high and low for a sample of it, couldn't find it anywhere, at least at the time. I don't know if there's any samples available now, but I could not find a sample of it. And I blind bought it. I did. I blind bought it, and I can't believe I did that because this is literally the most expensive perfume that I have ever bought. But this is the Delina exclusive. Comes in this box, and then you open it up, and this bottle is just gorgeous. And I know everybody says that in all of their videos, but they say it for a reason because look at this thing. It is so pretty. I just love this little tassel and the detail they put in the bottle and the little crystal on the top here. Yeah, everything about this has a really heavy, like weighted cap. It's just really pretty. I was really nervous when I got it because I'm like, please, please let me love this because I spent so much money on it. And I will tell you, the first thing I thought when I smelled this, the first word that came to mind was exquisite. It was exquisite to my nose. It is, oh my gosh, you guys, I love this perfume. I love it. I'm not one to get caught up too much in the hype. Like, I'm pretty big about having my own opinion. Just because everybody else in the world loves something, if I don't like it, I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. And the other way around, if everybody else hates something but I love it, I'm going to tell you, because that's how I feel. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of me coming on here and talking to you, is to honestly tell you how I feel about things, whether it's a popular opinion or not. And I'm here to tell you guys that the hype on this perfume is not exaggerated. At least to me, this is gorgeous. I have heard in other videos people say things like, oh, if you don't like Delina, you'll like Delina exclusive. You know, it's almost a guarantee. And I agree with that to an extent, but let me be clear, you have to like rose perfumes to like either. If you don't like rose in your perfumes, you're not going to like Delina or exclusive. Just let's be clear about that. You have to like rose there. It's a pretty prominent note in both of the perfumes. But I don't want anybody to blind buy this. I really don't, because it's super expensive and I'm not trying to promote blind buying. But I will say, if you've been curious about this perfume, it really is worth the hype. If you can find a sample, get a sample if you're curious about it. But I have no regrets about buying this perfume. All right, the main accords are rose, fruity, vanilla, amber, tropical, oud, which I'm surprised because I don't typically love oud, fresh, sweet, woody, and floral. The top notes are lychee, pear, and bergamot. The middle notes are Turkish rose, oud, and incense. And then the base notes are vanilla, amber, and woody notes. This is blended so well, you guys. I really don't even smell the oud. I smell a little bit of that incense, definitely smell the vanilla. This one is the Delina for me. Like I said, the original was a little bit too tart. This one is a lot sweeter and creamier, a little bit powdery kind of to my nose, but not over the top powdery. The longevity, oh my gosh, you guys, the performance of this is just out of this world. I mean, talk about a beautiful sillage, a beautiful scent bubble around you all day. Oh yeah, you're gonna get that from this. Absolutely, like no questions. I have never heard anyone say that this doesn't perform well on their skin. I'd be shocked. I would be shocked if somebody said, oh yeah, this didn't really perform well for me. The scent bubble it created around me was just heavenly, and the longevity is beast mode. Performance is fantastic on this. I absolutely love it. I love how it smells. I got a lot of compliments. I've worn this a couple times now. I'm trying not to be one of those people who only saves it for special occasions because, you know, you bought it. You might as well enjoy it, right? So I've been trying to make myself wear it a little bit more than, you know, just the super, super special occasions. And every time I wear it, I get a compliment every single time without fail. So yeah, this one was a huge success. Absolutely love it and highly recommend you get a sample of it and check it out if you've been wondering if this is really worth the hype or not. Those are the perfumes that I have added to my collection and the ones that worked and didn't work for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear from you guys. I really want to know what perfumes you have been wearing lately and if you have any suggestions for me on something I should try. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody's having an amazing day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!